Well, hello, day 3 of Major 4. My goodness, I'm awake. Okay, what an incredible series. We have the bracket on the board for you guys right now. As you can see, Elimination Round 3 is where we're at, folks. 3-2 Subliners. Subliners will move on to Elimination Round 4, where they will meet their friends Empire to battle their way to hopefully that tournament final spot right at the end of it. But what an incredible series. I mean, let's just appreciate this for a second, right? Pickup team. Clay also finished the last series on a 0.77 KD, the last time that they played on that stage. Decimate, he honestly could have just sat back and aided his his core 3 teammates in their team and really not done a huge amount. But no, he steps up. The S&D was just unbelievable. This team, it kind of looked like they'd been playing for quite a while, and in just the short amount of days that they had to get this together to go against the Mutineers the way that they did in that Game 5 series was just amazing. Nameless, what did you make of that overall, man?
Every single player on New York had an incredible moment throughout this series. I mean, you think about HyDra in that Game 2 S&D, the guy was going off. I mean, in the pre-match segment, we talked about they needed playmakers. And in Search and Destroy, they clearly went over VOD, and they came with a brand new game plan today. You think about Clay in the control. I mean, the guy took over. Mack on the Game 4, he was going off on the 10 streak to get the streaks. They didn't end up winning it, but he was still popping off. And then in Game 5, Decimate to step up and set the tone with that 1v3, it was massive, man. These guys, they earned that win. That was huge.
They really did. It was like a real flip of the regular New York Subliners type roster we normally see. Like, they're usually so good at the respawns, and the S&D is a little tiny bit shaky, but respawns you just cannot, go against them in. This time around, it was totally different with Decimate on board. Unbelievable stuff. Now, Namus, you mentioned the control. Talk to me about that control game. What did you notice that really spun things on its head for New York?
Yeah, Florida was playing great. They had a bunch of ticks for progression, so if it did go to that round number 5, they would have had defense. So New York were faced in the situation where they had to win the offense that they were on. You're going to see some really big gunfights here. They get B with like a sliver left on it, and right here you see they're spread across the map right now. Right now Mutineers have control, but Clay wins a huge gunfight onto Awakening, and then the 2 players inside a kitchen, Decimate and HyDra, they overwhelm Mack. Skies unfortunately nades himself, but that gives New York the opportunity to converge onto A here. They have to make stuff work. You see Neptune finessing his life, Awakening up top. They're able to trade out. They flood through pillars, and you see New York right now. They finally got control, and it's so difficult to re-break back into circle when you are on the defense and the team just has so many headies to work with. You can see they stack the point, they get the kills, and they execute it properly. I mean, this offense was beautiful. The way that they were able to get B, they push through kitchen, they get on B, and it was not easy. I mean, they were fighting back and forth, winning huge gunfight after huge gunfight. It came down to a one-on-one that they won to get B. That sets them up with the opportunity to pinch.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, just before we head off to this one, big shout out to Neptune. Played like an absolute beast in that series. Incredible stuff. Way to show up for your teammate. But we do need to move on, and OpTic versus Surge is on the cards next. Super excited for this one. Now, Nameless, who do you think has to step up today for OpTic in particular?
Yeah, if I had to pick one person, I'm going to go with Formal. We know how strong the AR duo is on Seattle Surge. So for Formal, I think he needs to have a big one. The last series that he had, 0.67, it ain't going to cut it. I mean, Formal, a guy who's been fantastic on LAN in prior years, it's his time to turn up, right? So looking at him to step it up and go big in this series to give them an advantage.
Totally feel that. I think for me, honestly, it's Envoy. I really want him to step up in Search. I think a Search player like him is incredible when he is proving himself. He can really fly, make a huge impact. He needs to be that manipulative player that we know he can be. The flanks, the routes he takes. He really does disrupt teams when he can actually perform. And I think he can do that today. I want to see a little bit more from him to create some more opportunities for his teams. But I tell you what, we have to go to break right now because we have our next match ready and awaiting. It's going to be OpTic versus Surge on that main stage. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back right after the break.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Major 4. Beautiful aerial shot of downtown Dallas as we get ready for our next matchup. And Joe, it's a big one as we'll check out the Seattle players getting locked and loaded. They'll be taking on OpTic, and it just feels like, I know it's not exactly the case, but it's kind of do or die time for Seattle. They're in such a hole. If they want to get into champs, man, they got to find some wins.
Yeah, they got to find some wins, but they've already done that, right? 2 very impressive wins over London and
100%.
Paris. They finally get some momentum going for this roster. They're feeling good. You know, they know they're the underdogs. They got a lot of work to do, but I think just getting those wins under their belt for them, just, you know, you saw them smiling on the stage. It feels good for them. And on the other side, for OpTic, not a good showing. You have to get going right out of the gates, right? Just with how much momentum Seattle has right now and what they showed early on versus Dallas.
Well, how much does the mindset for these teams matter to you in the sense of how drastically different they are? If they're Seattle, you're riding as high as you probably ever have been this year, or maybe last year, considering the wins that have been coming through this major. And if you're OpTic, you're all excited to get back to LAN. You get destroyed. It's the polar opposite.
Yeah, it is. But I think for OpTic, too, there's no more excuses. There's nothing else, right? It's the fact of we're at LAN now, and they are a team at times that starts slow. They did it last major, and then it was on this day where they really got going. But throughout stage 4, hardpoint 6-3 for OpTic. Not bad at all though for Seattle Surge. It's really the respawns for Seattle. OpTic Search and Destroy has been pretty up and down this year. 3-4, not the best, but we've seen them get better and better at this mode. So that is a key advantage for them today.
Well, yeah, I mean, early in the year, horrible at it. Then they got to a point they were one of the better search teams in the game. Now they're maybe sitting around middle of the pack after how stage 4 went. But I got to think you think this is a series where if there's a mode they really should take advantage, it's the search, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think it needs to be, especially map 2. Like, you know, they've played Seattle Surge. I think they have a 3-1 series advantage over them. They did lose their most recent matchup. In Seattle, their best game mode is probably hardpoint right now. So if you lose that map 1, right, a closed hardpoint, you have to bounce back in that map 2 because it feels like at times that pressure can build up and then you can see what happens to this team. You don't want to go down in that 0-2 hole.
Well, let's check out Astro's social soundboard quick as we're getting ready to go. Just waiting on the players to get ready to play. And okay, this is for Joey Nubsy. I want to paint you like one of your French gamers. Well, Titanic, it was an incredible film. Joe, I saw that as a very young boy. I think I was like 13 at the time. I'm very old, and it was one of the first times I saw nudity, Joe, in a film. My dad was trying to cover my eyes. It was very, I'll never forget it. It was a very important moment in my life. But let's meet the teams, Joe. We're getting ready to get into the match. Surge going up against OpTic. Let's meet Seattle Surge.
Fire coming in, but can Prestinni win this too? No. He does. That's 3 straight.
He's trying to get out of there. He challenged and he wins it.
Behind a classic. Trying to line him up. Trying to line him up in the final. Looking to find a few more, but Gunless absolutely rips his way through the 3 of them.
249, Seattle won! Seattle Surge starting to roll back on LAN. Octane, we saw him smile for the first time in 2 years. Ready to see if this team can keep it going.
Yeah, I think for these guys, yeah, Gunless, Prestinni, Classic, and Octane. Octane's been great. He's been leading the tournament. He's been putting up numbers. But you're going now against an opponent where you need the entire squad to step up. Look at that. Guys like Gunless, Prestinni to really put the pressure on OpTic today.
Yeah, you're going to need a team effort here. Absolutely. I'm excited for this. I mean, we know they played recently. It's a 5-game series. Surge were able to take it. So I think mentally, you know you can beat them online. You're playing well at LAN. You got to think you can do this. But yes, they are still absolutely the underdog, even considering how the matches have gone so far for these two teams. But I guess, you mentioned it, the others need to step it up outside of Octane. But is there like a single player you think the most pressure on here to perform?
Well, I think it is Octane. Because I think when you look at their stats, if he's not putting up the numbers, I think you have Gunless around like a 1.0. It's not like the subs haven't been magnificent, right? Yeah. So Octane is going to need to slay. So for me, you need Octane to stay consistent. That to me is it. If he has an off series, what happens to this team? We don't know.
Can they win? No, probably not. I mean, considering how things have been going. But that'll be it for Seattle Surge, who they're battling against, the Green Wall. Let's meet OpTic Chicago.
Mighty keeps it going. Normal, looking fantastic. Envoy slaying his way through. Scump from up high, the king.
I'm out here doing what they thinking is irrational.
Really starting to run that score up.
I'm gonna make it bad, I'm gonna make it bad, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, OpTic Gaming are back. Chicago are a force to be reckoned with.
OpTic Chicago, it is bounce back time. You do not get the result you want starting the tournament. They come out flat. This is where they need to show that resilience, the pedigree, as they've been some of the top players in the game. We know the championship form they can hit. It's time to show it.
100%. You see them smiling coming on out. You got a little, I like that. All right, so chemistry's building on the stage. You see them in a good mood, and they know when they can get some momentum going, if they win this match, they'll have another match later on, and it feels like once they get into that sort of system, they are very difficult to beat. We saw it that last major, so this match for me, I mean, you lose this and you're out, but it's once they get a win under the belt, what else can they do with that momentum?
100%, but you see the full lineup: Dashy, Envoy, Formal, and Scump. I want to get right into our game fuel keys to victory. We're going to go through it, chat about these squads and what you think are maybe the points they need to hit on. Talk to me about OpTic.
Well, I take advantage of a research and destroy team. 2-7. Scump has been leading the way with a 1.33 throughout stage 4. He's got to stay being that guy. Watching him, he just realizes the situations he's in. Seems to be a step ahead. Formal Envoy, though, they were horrible versus Dallas Empire. They have to step up, especially because Envoy, he's supposed to be one of your superstars. You need this guy to play well. And then Dashy has to stay consistent. It is a tough matchup going up against Octane and Gunless. He's hoping Formal is going to be playing better today, but it's the same thing for me with Octane on the other side. If Dashy does not slay, what happens to OpTic? You look at the results in the past, it's not good.
Yeah, it just feels like it's been one extreme or the other, right? Like he is dominating one of the top KDs in the game or getting smoked. You need him dominating, 100%. Totally agree with you there. Let's go through the game fuel keys to victory for Seattle Surge, and are they going to get it done, Joe? Which might be difficult till we see the graphic pop up, but also you wrote them, so you probably have an idea.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on Octane. He's plus 66 over the 2 series. He's leading the major in overall KD. Just a bit of a different level, though, here, going up against OpTic instead of Paris and London. So can you keep that up? Control, they have won their last 4, and OpTic is 2-4 in stage 4. This might be a mode where they have a clear advantage.
Isn't that crazy,
OpTic
though?
Right
Because they used to be so bad at it. Like,
yeah, 100%. And then for me, Prestinni and Classic, they need to keep Surge in the game and allow Gunless and Octane to get to their spots. I think the only way this really goes wrong for Seattle Surge is if Prestinni and Classic just get smoked. Like, they can have a 0.9, a 0.85, they can get out slayed, but they can't drop a 0.5. You need them to continue to win some one-on-ones that allow them to move up the map, and they have to keep that pressure up.
yeah, 100%. I mean, you can get by with subs not frying. They don't always need to, but you just can't get totally torched. Totally agree there. And, you know, those are players that have fallen victim to that at times this year. Now let's look at our maps and modes. This best of 5 between OpTic and Seattle. Joe, how'd it play out?
Well, you have some interesting ones here. I think Checkmate Hardpoint is one that sticks out because Chicago very good here, but in the first match they played throughout stage 4, it's a very close one, 250 to 227. The other map that we're going to see is a repeat is going to be that Checkmate Control. That's one that surged 1-3-1. Then if we go with the distance, that map 5, that's where OpTic were able to win 6-3. So you do have some repeat maps, but the vetoes change up a little bit based on what we saw earlier, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, well, you and I spent probably 20-30 minutes just talking about the vetoes and what we thought it was going to break down to be. And it was close, but I guess we kind of thought Checkmate might get out of it. But then what would have been the alternative? Probably Moscow, and that's where they didn't want to go.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle is 7-5 in hardpoint this stage. 4 of those losses are here. In my mind, it was, let's just play Moscow or Rage, whatever Chicago wants to do. But I think they felt because it was a 20-point game that, all right, we can compete with them on this map. So they're sticking with it, and then you see Apocalypse come in. And Apocalypse is another good one for Seattle, and it's one Chicago they just have not played a lot of. They haven't touched it throughout stage 4.
Yeah, this is the one we were kind of surprised to see him. We thought maybe it would get veto, but yeah, no, you nailed it. They think they can get it done. We've seen OpTic just blow people out here at times as well, but into the bloodbath we go. At times it is Scump's playing, and right now it most certainly is. He starts it off with a double. Formal follows it up with 2. T2P wipes Surge off the map to get rolling.
Yeah, a lot of map pressure given. You can see where Seattle are spawning. Formal was getting put into a very good position towards this yellow crate, but he gets killed. And this is just early time. And Scump is going to deal with this push, and I love this. Just wasting their time, staying alive, allowing his teammates to get into these strong positions. This is just great time. They know they don't have to go right away and try to flip the spawns. Get the time and now maybe fly behind those 2 kills. It is go time, and there you see the spawns flip.
I was about to say, even if they don't get the flip, like if you take a 40-0 type lead off the first, I mean, that's still good work done, but you get all the time and you get the flip. Joe, it doesn't get much better than that to start the game.
No, it certainly doesn't. And now for Seattle Surge, can you get a response here? Can you find a break? On board with Gunless. Him and Octane going to work towards this right wing. Try to find some gunfight to open up the lanes for their submachine guns, but it's Dashy on the opposite side dealing with the push. A very good start for OpTic. You see the way they're slaying. On the other side, it's Prestinni and Classic, a slow start for them.
We'll see if they can start to turn it around, but I mean, there was 20 seconds off this hard point before the gunfights really started around the objective. Just flawless from OpTic to open it up. You still have 30 seconds to earn here. Someone's got to get to the hard point. That they'll be able to do. Now, Dashy, you said he's got to perform. He's on 5 in a row right now. See if he can earn some streaks to take later into this map, but he's going to get caught on the left side by Gunless. Gunless follows it up with a second as well. But they'll still accrue all this time from one streak to another. 9 and 2 for the King. 5 in a row. Gunless, I thought, might play spoiler again. He's out of the mix, and Scump keeps it rolling. 6 in a row.
Yeah, well, Dashy's nade doesn't give him number 7. He would have had it, but that nade blows up. Now puts himself into a good position. He's just playing for these streaks. His teammates slaying around him. 84-8 start. Envoy and Formal. They're going to get traded out, but you still have Scump looking for it. There's going to be the artillery. Now, can he earn the cruise? He's got a Krig in his hand. He's looking for Octane up towards that yellow crate. Trying to see what timings he can get, but this is a huge win because basically, right, Scump is kind of playing a role of, I'm playing around myself, right? I'm kind of going to be out of the objective. In Seattle, there's a chance where they can earn some time if they get those kills, but that just hasn't happened. Not a lot of time earned. They still have a good lead, and, well, now they're going to have the transition over to the 4th hill, plus that streak was earned by Scump. Nice job so far here from OpTic.
Yeah, nice is one way to put it. Checkmate has been their home, and they're dominating out of the gate. Let's go to an Astro listening with OpTic Chicago.
I'm just holding it small.
Yo, see midpoint, low midpoint. Yeah, midpoint one. Yo, midpoint, 2 midpoint. Oh, yo, one's side. Yo, what's top over? These bricks. What top over?
Top over the hill, dead. One more midside point. Sam, midpoint.
Midpoint. Let's go midpoint. Yeah, I'm going midpoint. Low point, dead.
Naded over.
Close up time. Yo, Pierce's dead.
Yo, we can stairs.
One sitting on side. Two both sitting on side. They're both one shot. He's absolute. He ran back. One side. He's absolute. Their side, Preston, half.
Dead, one more our side.
Stairs.
One shot, Sam, absolute mid pillar. Inner side, mid pillar, one shot.
I have their side. Their side. Not hurt. I have their side. Still midpoint. Mid pillar. Point there. Yo, we can smoke midpoint. He's midpoint, Seth. That's not him. There's one more.
I got one. Dead turret.
3. Yeah, Preston. I'm going top of lane.
I got the new. I'm getting in gens.
Go ahead, Seth.
I'm in gens.
One graffiti on me. Yo, top tower, Pierce, point.
I'm in gens.
Top tower, Sam. He did.
Yo, just watch my gens. I have gens.
Yo, one was tower, Sam. He can be playing. You get off time, Brandon, if you need to. I'm one shot. Yo, 2 plates stairs. There's Seth, on you there, on you. 2 plates stairs.
Gens.
What dead.
One shot gens. Absolute Nick.
Nice. He's in plane, in exit. Hold it.
I could streak.
Front tower, Sam. Drop names. Yo, test box.
Test box.
Sam absolute place there. Sam absolute place there.
He's backside of the barrels.
Keep hitting hill. I don't see point steps. I'm looking back left. Yo, we got point. Hit him. I needed him too.
I don't see. I'm hitting hill.
One shot at a time. One shot.
Nothing too crazy in the comms to break down, but some crazy stats. It's 18 and 7 for Scump, and Joe, we were kind of chatting through that, and you were saying, oh, this is the hard point where Surge really needed to start making a run back into it. They get some time, but overall, pretty solid from OpTic to maintain this lead.
Yeah, it's just that two-piece from Scump, when he's top playing over towards P4, he's able to just transition into gens when we were early on in that listen-in. And now you're going to need a break here if you're Seattle Surge to try to, you know, press on through, get those spawns to flip. This is where the fundamentals have to come in if you're OpTic. You're not going to win and go on sprees every single time, win every gunfight. Seattle is going to warm up. Now, this is when you have to rely on your teamwork, making those smart decisions to keep that lead.
Well, it could be kind of the opposite scenario this time. Playing control for Surge, OpTic with spawns for second. Well, Surge can do exactly what OpTic did. They're going to be in a very good spot. We'll see if OpTic can handle a little bit better, but one drops. Push now coming in from Surge. This is a big moment for Surge if they're going to rally back into this game, but Scump going big. On the other side, it'll be Dashy that wins his one. Scump follows it up with his second, and with 10 seconds left on the hard point, it's sending Surge to spawn on the opposite side of the map.
And that's what I mean, right? Who at times can be the one maybe to over-challenge at times. It is Dashy, but he recognizes that I'm at yellow crate. I have to lock this down, and he's able to find 2 kills. But Prestinni soaring on through as he finds a 2-piece. OpTic, though, still with some close spawns. You do have Gunless going all the way around, though. But is it going to be a little bit too late? It looks like Formal has a good idea that someone could be through on the pinch, and he does just that. A nice rebound off that fast push from Seattle. With these 40 seconds, they keep that lead. You still have that streak as well on Scump.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll sometimes see players with that time remaining, like sending it to the plane, like, you know, just being over-aggressive. Just, they did a good job. They got back, got their spots, won the fights. They're rallying behind some time. I know Prestinni might have made it a little bit messy early, but they answer quickly. The lead once again over 60 points as the beams from Dashy on point again, 18 and 11. And, well, I mean, what were some of your points? Dashy needs the fry. Check. On the other side, Classic or Prestinni can't go double negative. Classic was double negative last I saw.
Well, yeah, I don't know where Octane's at. I think Gunless has been very consistent so far. If you haven't really seen that pop-off moment for Octane. And again, when you're getting into the top half of our CDL teams, it's just difficult to do, right? It's not going to be easy to have a 1.3 every single series.
No.
So that's when you need the rest of your teammates to step up. This has to be a team effort from Seattle Surge.
Well, if you watched the matches yesterday, you know, comebacks are possible. We saw some insane moments on this map and mode. But OpTic trying to put this map one away, and a hot start in the series is crucial. And yeah, Octane, he's 19 and 20 right now. Hasn't been able to take over in the same capacity he has. And while Scump's been winning his fights, getting into more aggressive positions makes it harder for the subs. Dashy's beaming. It's a tough matchup, as you said.
Well, and that was a great hold by Seattle Surge to put OpTic into a trap there at P3. But then it's 4 kills in a row for OpTic. They're able to, rotate on over towards P4. Formal with some bad timing there. Dashy, Scump continues. 28 and 15 from him. Just been controlling this plane. Just wasting Seattle's time. Has a great idea of where he needs to be, where the spawns are coming in. Now another chance to find another multi-kill. As off the spawn, Octane able to snap. But behind those kills, not able to find much objective time. Seattle get right back into the hill.
Yeah, Scump, I feel like since day one, has just felt very comfortable in and around that plane. It's unbelievable, some of the moments he has had, but as you stated, Surge starting to try and make this rally, but that'll be 3 down, 4 down. Surge gets swept out of the hard point with just over 20 seconds left inside of it. And with this time for OpTic, you get closer and closer to closing out this map. 5 in a row now for Envoy. Maybe the only player on OpTic that hadn't gone on a streak. Now it's his turn as he gets back to even. They're flying, they're frying, and they're looking for the map 1 dub. It'll be Scump, what do you know, lurking by the plane, trying to get people on the cross as they set up for the next hard point, but Prestinni gets the better of him there.
You gotta be careful. Formal staying very disciplined, making sure they have void control so they have the spawns. And then as the push comes through, Envoy, he was on a spree, then off a spawn. He finds 3, make it 4. As his 74U starting to heat on up. Now just 25 seconds away. Artillery inbound from Scump to deal with this push. Force Seattle to take a long route.
Oh, they take the route. They take the route right into Dashy. Classic will be able to pick him off. Just 13 points needed for the map 1 win for OpTic Chicago. For Standy in on the contest. Able to pick up 1. The trade there instantly. 1 will spawn on the back for Surge. So looks like we're going to be seeing another hard point here in a matter of seconds. The Surge do enough to extend it, but you're down nearly 100. I don't know how you do it, but I believe in anything after yesterday.
Well, and you know, this is one of those hills where it's tough to break this hill when you're going to be a man short, because someone from OpTic is going to play safe respawns for the most part. So they're just going to try and contest, force Seattle to come at them, and use that advantage to win this game. At least keep them spawns for our second hill. But there's still a lot of hill time left here. Octane, he's watching over Prestinni. Prestinni slides on him, but Dashy is there. And again, just contesting. They're staying disciplined right now. Like to see this from OpTic, but when this Surge trying to push on through.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I said after the comeback yesterday, this is how it usually plays out, right? It's 1 to 2.
Classic's going on a flank.
Here he goes. Finds Scump. It's 3 down now for OpTic. The last guy's going to be playing deep. It's Dashy. And it's an inopportune time to drop. It allows Surge to soar on forward. Can Dashy do it? He gets both. And with that double, might seal the game. The spawn for Formal will drop right on him as the new hard point's getting ready to pop. Give him a third. Needs one more bullet. 3 fall. It's just Formal in the back. Where do the spawns come in for OpTic? They're all over the place on the opposite side of the map. One does spawn in with Formal.
This is going to create a pinch. Can they hold on? Formal and Envoy trying to do what they can. Scump's going to come on through. Formal off a spawn. Every time they needed a play to happen, it did happen for OpTic as they win this map #1. A beautiful job at that second hill to make sure they have the spawns or at least have some presence there. I think it was Dashy 2 times. Finds the multi-kill. Doesn't allow Surge to get into their setup.
Yeah, I got a little worried. You know, it's those deaths in those spots with what, like, I don't know, 5 to 15 seconds left in the hard point when you spawn out, where things can get a little bit frightening. But Dashy gets 2, gives them a chance, and then the spawners make the plays after that as OpTic 9-1 on Checkmate this season. And well, Joe, I mean, maybe that goes back to our conversation. I think we were a little bit surprised to see Checkpoint being played, but Surge, they felt they could do it. Unfortunately, come up short.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Checkmate is gonna go-to for OpTic, but I think this is another chance for Seattle. You go back and watch this, the break, right? Just right from the get-go, when they have the good side, they lose that. The first P5 to get back into it, you know, OpTic's able to break up a good amount of that time, and then into that second hill in the second rotation, it was Dashy who made that play. And it is just a team effort from the side of OpTic. You see everyone equal or positive as they secure that map 1. And for me, that was just so big for them to get things rolling, to get that momentum that they needed so much.
100%. We've seen times where they go down early in series, and it just feels like they don't bring it back. So winning the map 1, I think huge. 100%, Joe. We'll see if they can play behind that, continue on in this best of 5. Surge, OpTic, S&D coming up after the break.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. Seany, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armor your eyes with Seany Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting seany.com/gaming.
OpTic take a 1-0 series lead, but before we get into the search, we got a giveaway. We are celebrating the COD League Stage 4 Major with a giveaway. One winner will get a CDL controller of choice. To enter, retweet this tweet, follow Scump Gaming, tag a friend. It ends tomorrow at the end of the broadcast, so make sure to enter if you're looking to have a chance to win a lovely scuff. But now, Joe, back to the focus on our best of 5. It's search and destroy time. Seattle are going to be looking to answer back, and I mean, this was the mode where you felt like OpTic should really have the advantage. How can Surge get this done?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is a great map for Seattle Surge, though. They're 5-1 on Express, but, you know, throughout the stage, Surge, how have they been doing? I mean, Gunless pretty much the same. Classic right around there. He's improved. The two big guys, though, is Octane and Prestinni. You see that jump, and Octane, 1.67. The man has just been unbelievable. But it was against London and Paris, you know, and they took care of business, but a different test here on the main stage right now.
100%. This is going to be a different monster entirely. And, you know, at times for Search and Destroy, even when they were losing, even when it was online, whatever the case, like there were times where he would take over. I mean, he's got the ability to do that. He's one of the best players of all time. You got to do it here. You didn't dominate the map 1 like you would hope to. You end up taking a pretty hefty loss. But we've seen some big responses. I mean, teams throwing away 100-point leads, coming back, and then winning the Search and Destroy 6-0. So you can get it done. We've watched it happen all weekend long. The pressure on Surge to perform. You can't go in an 0-2 hole.
No, not whatsoever. This is when you need that response. And, you know, for OpTic, this is a chance where they have a huge advantage in the series, where I think they should, right? 2-7 in Search and Destroy for Seattle Surge. I know it hasn't been great for OpTic, but they should be a couple of steps ahead. But for Seattle Surge, again, 5-1 on Express. Definitely their best Search and Destroy map. See if they can make a map 2 response here.
We'll kick it off with the bomb in hand. All 4 flying towards the A site. Heavy presence from OpTic there as well. We'll see how this begins to develop. Remember, no trophies available. Scump, hero of map 1, coming in with the first blood to start it off. Now, Octane does get the trade on through quickly. Numbers right back to OpTic as Envoy gets in position. That was the bomb carrier down, though, so they're going to have to recoup that.
He was just lurking, just waiting. They had a really good idea that they were headed towards this A side. OpTic were basically just playing a B retake. If they're going to go B, we'll play around that retake now. 45 seconds left. You see Octane number 8 just trying to maybe work a pick, but it's a very tight setup for OpTic. They have bomb down. Trying to see where that play is going to be coming from. It looks like Octane's going to wrap all the way through. And now it's just, for me, what timing does Dashy get? You see 3. He's going back and forth, trying to watch his flank, trying watch the middle of the map. And it looks like Dashy's going to get through, but so does Octane. Oh, Envoy with a big read.
All down to Gunless now, and he is in a triangle of OpTic players. OpTic take round 1. They get numbers early, and they get the one behind it. Yeah, I meant Octane got through. Like, Dashy didn't catch. I thought maybe he would get this kill, but nope. Envoy wins the one-on-one, and that really seals the deal.
Yeah, it's just, you know, a millisecond difference. Maybe he catches Dashy, and then you know, you're into the 2-on-2 with still some time to work with. But maybe Dashy just gives him the heads up. Hey, I gave up the full flank. Envoy's like, okay, I'll watch it, because Formal is watching that top catwalk pinch. They knew something was going to happen. They just weren't exactly sure where it was coming from. Now for OpTic, so it's going to be a pretty slow offense here to start.
Well, Scump's gotten tucked away near A. Envoy's POVs. He starts off with 3 in that round 1.
Might be calling for a rotate here.
Yeah, I say if he sees nothing, they're probably going to wrap out. But look, all 3 are in the tunnel. There's 3 of them in the tunnel. So Envoy sees nothing. Now they all hit it. He's like, boys, come on. It's wide open. I take it back. They're all on me. Envoy drops.
Thought he was going to get classic, but Octane, yeah, he doesn't expect him to be down there. So he's able to find that pick. Now everybody from Seattle Surge rotates on over. Here comes their push.
Nate will back him up. Dashy's gotten pushed out. Have to work this plant, but Octane prone in tunnel. It's his second inside of the round as he starts to take over in this search and destroy. Scump though, looking to bring it back. He drops all on Formal now. It was a 1v3, gets the first. 2 players left. Oh, you want that back. Maybe a chance to make it a 1 versus 1. Knows the position of both players. The snap's on point. Formal for the 1v3. Oh, you need another bullet or 2. Octane gets the last laugh. He opened up the round as well.
Ooh, that was close. Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
maybe if he gets that first kill on Gunless, right, and then maybe he could play from top stairs, but he's in such a tough position. The nade that Octane still has forces him to reposition. Formal and Scump there trying to, you know, win the gunfights around Ticket Booth, but then comes that flank, and into the 1v1, Octane able to win it.
I'll tell you what, if it was a different AR that might miss a bullet here and there, he might win it. But unfortunately, it was Octane on the other side.
Yeah, that's the ace. That's the ace. And he's got all of their kills throughout this map.
What a round it is from Octane. Kind of bails them out, right? It gets a little bit scary. They've got numbers throughout. But in the 1v1, Sam LaRue comes up big. Who's point, man? They're onto the bomb. Formal is here for the check. And when he goes to try and catch him, does he get picked from top window? Classic was able to get out. All right, just go for it. Sword on it. Whoa. Two players left here for OpTic. Dashy and Envoy. Envoy, another gunfight win for him. Out to 5-1. 2v2, 20 seconds to go. Gunless hops around the corner. At least gets one, almost the second. The damage he gets into Envoy, maybe what seals it there. Otherwise, who knows? I mean, we've watched Envoy winning his once. He might close this out. Unreal.
I mean, it was close, but the big thing was the time as well, right? OpTic, they knew that they had to go. Just stop shooting there. But, I mean, he was turning around. He thought the pinch was going to come through from up top or through the mid-train. But for OpTic, right, you go towards the B side, you stack it. Formal's the one player, and, you know, he mantles on up. I think Classic, he stops the bomb plant. He had an idea that someone was in that area. Well, just not able to find a kill. Was hoping to get up top. Not able to take him down. Just some unfortunate time. He's now in this round. OpTic just goes straight to B. They're taking it to him. And while they find 3 kills, all down to Octane. And I feel like we've been saying that a lot.
Yeah, a little bit over the past few years. First one-on-one is good. They push, they fly. He will get dropped. Simply too many players there to deal with. But yeah, they hit it, they quit it. They soar right on in, get the first 3 so fast. Envoy, his sub shot just crisp and clean right now.
Yeah, we saw him heat up at the end of map 1. You know, he carried that. He's carried that confidence over here. You know, win, search, and destroy. Just such a good S&D player. But OpTic, they go for that simple round in Seattle. They counter that. You have all 4 players around Catwalk or that ticket booth. But OpTic were ready for it. Nice teamwork on that offense.
Well, we go to Octane's POV to start because, well, he has basically all of their kills.
Yeah, but Envoy is the same thing. I mean, he's got 8.
Yeah, good point. And he's just holding ticket side, looking towards mid-map. And it's just that decision time of which site they want to work. Right, baiting a rotation out of OpTic with the patience here on the setup. Hello?
He spotted him. Just when does he want to take the shots?
Patience.
OpTic have stayed here the entire round. Does it pay off? It sure will. Ooh, I thought he was going to hit 2.
Maybe should have had 2, but Classic with the snap, able to take it. Dashy up for the next fight. Envoy through on the pinch. OpTic Chicago, when the collapse comes in, they close out the round. But yeah, you see a little discipline there from Formal as he waits on them to come through.
Well, really, it's discipline from the entire team because this map has evolved, right? It was a lot of just sort of retake situations, especially on the defensive side, and then they try to like get a little fancy with it with those quick flanks. So what did offenses do? They played very patient from spawn. That's what Seattle did. They're trying to get OpTic to think, to over-rotate to one site, and they're hoping that B's open, but it's not. All of OpTic stay at B. They stay together as a unit, and while Formal Dashy, they put that round away.
On the next round, OpTic very fast towards A. Nobody there for Surge, but wrapping back. You'll have Octane. You'll have Gunless looking to get in position towards their back catwalk. The trophy, it provides the cover. Scump will get the free plant in. After that, though, who knows? Because they're flying. They soar on in. The trade is on for Dashy. 3 versus 3. Formal will get a pick from the window. Octane was staring at it. I don't know if that's something you want to peek. The way he has been shooting. But Octane's got to deal with more than just top.
Well, when does Envoy go? Envoy's the playmaker here. Dashy's trying to hold down towards lockers. He's watching the bomb plant. Nice trade by Formal and Dashy near the bomb now. It's into a one-on-one, but they have no clue where Envoy is. He has not shown himself this entire round. And he's just playing the clock, and well, it is timed correctly. He wins this round, but you have to give props to Formal and Dashy. In that sort of 2v3 situation, they're able to set up Envoy to win that round.
Yeah, you could tell, like, you know, in a lot of those scenarios, that last player is involved in some of the fights, so you get the first, you're ready to snap to where the second is, but you saw when Prestinni came out, he was spinning in circles. Like, he had no idea where that was going to be coming from, and Envoy plays it perfectly.
Even for Dashy, just to watch over Scump, I mean, you saw it. That bomb plant, you're basically dead right after. It is difficult to get away. Seattle were fast on that, but Dashy immediately there with the response with that 74U. Nice setup there.
Yeah, I was saying free plant, and as I was saying, I saw the white arrow start to fly. I was like, okay, well, maybe not as free as it looked. They're pushing out Scump, though. He is so tagged up, but the help is there. Once again, a Guardian Angel on the side of OpTic. Prestinni's turn for Surge. He's on 3 in a row. Unless hits the shots. Numbers advantage
Dashy's
over
behind.
to Surge.
Dashy's behind.
A real split. Oh my God. Oh no. He doesn't finish the one, but then Envoy's able to pounce. 2v2.
Thought it was going to be a 2v1, but sometimes you see multiple targets. It just be difficult. Which one do you want to go after? But Seattle, they rotate. I think they hear the slide. But did Prestinni spot one? Did he spot one? No, Envoy is through, and now it's Prestinni left in a 1 versus 2. The timing's hurting Seattle Surge right now. Dashy works the flank. Dashy gonna win the round.
Oh, yeah, you can see in some of the mini-map, like the 2 players remaining for OpTic, they're pretty split, but it worked out perfectly. Yeah, I mean, that one sequence may be a little bit cleaner if they get both near the bomb, but I think we've seen like 3 or 4 situations now where someone stopped shooting, right? It's trying to transfer the next target or think about the next play. But in the end, they close it out. Envoy, through 7 rounds, is on 12, nearly averaging 2 kills a round. Impressive stuff from Envoy.
It's what he needs to do, but it just has to find a little bit more consistently. I mean, not 12 and 4. That's pretty difficult to do, but not what he showed against Dallas.
What a dozen!
I mean,
very needy. You know? Very high expectations from you.
Yeah. All right.
Octane with the slide, just able to get around the corner. His Classic wins his 1. Now down to the 3v3. Bomb starting to move its way to the B site. Everyone kind of near that back catwalk. For Seattle Surge, this will be a 3-on-3 retake in a moment. What utility do they have to try and burst on through this? Thankfully, Formal's able to get away with his life, and now OpTic will get set up.
I see Scump. He was working the flank, and now he's going to try and work a timing. But I think Gunless spotted him. So Scump's going to back on up. Now, towards the bomb site, here comes Octane and Classic. Nice teamwork to force the peek out, but into a 2-on-2. Oh, it was so close. I thought he was going to get it, but Octane wins both gunfights. Formal was 1 bullet away from turning that into their favor. But as we've said, sometimes this guy just doesn't miss.
Yeah, again, if it's not Octane, maybe. But yeah, it is impressive. Watch this guy shoot. We'll see it from his POV this time. Beam zone 1. Oof, dude, just does not miss. So clean from Octane to get all 3. Unbelievable.
I think Formal even refires that, so I think he gets first shot, but then with the height advantage, I think Octane gets a headshot in, and well, that multiplier just gives him the advantage.
Yeah, he melted.
Yeah, sure did. I mean, this is a shootout.
11 for Octane, 12 for Envoy. Surge have to win 4 straight. One part of that done. Envoy is trapped in a tough spot. Now the same can be said for Classic, but Gunless is here with the help. Formal gets ripped down to 85. Will back out of it. Scump there for the peak. Can he play his life? This is a hard gunfight. Not able to do it. Surge, back-to-back rounds. They're clawing their way back.
Yeah, they show something a little different. They just 4-hit the mid-street. They go right through the tunnel. And well, they go from ticket booth. I mean, OpTic, their B setup is from down low. They don't expect this quickly. They get a little caught off guard. Nade hits from Catwalk on the Formal, so he tries to back down. They try to reposition as they get weaker, but it's a nice blind counter there from Surge. And they're still alive. And now you have 2 players on some streaks. See if maybe can Octane earn one for round 11.
I mean, if they do win this, statistically how this game is gone, he probably gets 2 of the kills. So if they win the round, more than likely Octane has streaks for the round 11. I'm a stats man, you know?
Well, Octane's down low. He's by himself on an island. He's got to be careful here. Are they going to check this corner? They might not check it.
Look at it through X-ray. It's just the whole OpTic team and old Sam LaRue.
Waiting patiently. There's going to be a freebie.
There. He does drop the Formal with the kill. No streaks for Octane. Another one-on-one win for Envoy. Classic, though. 4 in a row for him. Down to a 2 versus 2. Seattle have to take this to get to the round 11. They've got the position of both players. That mantle up top will get him caught. Formal going big in the round, and he wins that one, too. When it's not Octane on the other side, they're getting zipped up. OpTic take it 6-4.
Yeah, talk about Octane. Well, Formal, he's known to do this as well. Just a little shoulder. And I mean, he's just got a sliver of life left. And I thought with that first blood, Octane just not able to get away with his life. A nice trade by Formal, and then Envoy pushed up behind him to find that second kill. It was a nice game for Seattle and win a couple of rounds in a row, but it's the early lead for OpTic to now have a 2-0 lead in this series.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's probably some frustrating moments for Formal. You know, a couple gunfights he was close to winning against Octane, but think about that last round. He kills Octane to make sure the streaks don't come in. He kills the final 2. He gets 3 in the round. I know Envoy, the hard carry, kind of throughout as he has 13, but Formal ends up right there behind him with 9. Actually ended up doing more damage in the game, so solid map from Formal. And yeah, I was surprised Octane ended up dying because we just saw that situation like a couple rounds ago, right? Like he got the 1 pick, he was able to slide out with his life. That time though, maybe just ready to take the gunfight instead. He loses it.
Yeah, just a couple of, I mean, there was a couple of timings for OpTic that ended up working out, and that's sometimes expressed. They just a lot of rotations back and forth, but OpTic stayed very disciplined, and Formal and Envoy, the 2 players that struggled against Dallas, stepping up in that map too. So I'm sure they're fired up. And now we go to Control, where Seattle, they've been on a bit of a hot streak, and it hasn't been the best for OpTic.
True. But let's take a look at the U.S. Army tactical play. I believe it's going to be round 7 that we're actually going to check out. And this is Dashy and Envoy, I think, making some plays, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, Scump does an excellent job staying alive here. Just wasting time, forcing movement. But this entire time, Dashy is working on the flank. You see that number 3 arrow? Prestinni, he's trying to flank through on Envoy, but Envoy just backs away. But they have no idea where Dashy is. No one picks up the flank. It gets a little dicey here, right? Because he sees these 2 players. He's like, which one do I shoot? But his teammate has his back, and then into the 2-on-2. Seattle were very quick on this rotation. They just say, hey, let's go up Catwalk.
Yeah, I want to see this again.
They were thinking the same thing. They're like, let's just reposition. Let's take it from a different angle. Maybe they go A. And it's a great call because they do. Envoy checks the bomb, gets a freebie. Prestinni's just on the Catwalk. He's not looking at that train door.
They're able to clutch up in the 2 versus 3. OpTic close it out. They're up 2-0 in this best of 5, 1 map away from moving on to this tournament. The bounce back after the disappointing result versus Empire. We'll see if they can close it out or just Surge fire back. Control up after the break.
The Call of Duty League is presented by Seany, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armor your eyes with Seany Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting seany.com/gaming. Presented by USAA Renters Insurance, made to insure your gear in real life.
All new script packs are available on MitchellandNess.com now. Get one of your favorite teams before they sell out. And for all you LA Thieves or OpTic Chicago fans out there, Mitchell & Ness has added hats of your favorite team to the CDL collection. Check out the entire Mitchell & Ness and Call of Duty collection at MitchellandNess.com. Joe, we love hats, but we love more is a good old best of 5 between two squads in Call of Duty esports. We're getting ready for the control, and we're going to the same map where they played a couple weeks ago. Surge was able to take it, but you've kind of mentioned, we're going to talk a little bit about the control woes, but this is their series they had versus Empire, and it was a stomping.
No, it was. I mean, you get a great consistent performance from Dashy. That's what he's done throughout stage 4, but the rest of the team just wasn't there. I think really you look at the bottom two and who stepped up big time in that map number 2 to put them up 2-0. It was Envoy and Formal. So we're expecting more out of those two. We've gotten that. It was a team effort in map 1, some individual performances here in map 2. But now into this control, as you said, yes, Seattle, we're going to checkmate. They won this 3-1 last time these two teams have played. So they have some confidence and they're rolling a little bit as they've won, what, 4 in a row now. Is a game mode that they've struggled with time and time again. We'll see OpTic. Did they make some adjustments? What did they learn from the last time these two teams matched up?
What do you think has really changed for Seattle? Because this started before we got back to LAN. And they were abysmal when it came to control. There's no really way around it. They had one map they were decent at. Everyone would ban that against them. They couldn't win another map to save their lives. Now, they're actually starting to win them. And I guess we thought it would happen a little bit earlier, because usually when you're getting smoked in something, you put a lot of focus into that, you improve. But the fact is they weren't really good at anything. They had a lot they had to improve on. Maybe that's why it took a little longer.
Yeah, I just think for some of these teams, I mean, throughout stage 4, they've played their map, which was Garrison. That's where they've won a couple of times. And I think teams just maybe didn't have the sort of respect to kind of ban that, play them on something else. They knew that Garrison has kind of become that place to be. But the big thing is that they found that second map, and that is checkmate. They're 2-0 in stage 4 on this map with that one win against OpTic. So I think it's one thing where other teams are just playing them on Garrison. That's why they've won that twice. But they've also finally found that second map to rotate into, and that's checkmate.
You need to have 2. As of late, they have. They'll find 2 inside of the plane as well as they start to push up onto this A side. It'll be Dashy kind of playing deep, waiting for the help to start to come in, or he'll just take the one-on-one himself. He wins that against Octane. They clear the next player off of A. Who's that pushing up B side? It's Prestinni.
He's all the way up inside that low plane. Trying to deal with the players off a spawn, and it looks like Seattle, they're just gonna rotate over towards B with the kills that they had. I thought they were going to get on the point. It looks like they're just trying to take their time, slay a little bit more. You see Dashy's position now over towards Yellow Crate. They have to deal with him. Not able to do so. That's going to allow the submachine guns of OpTic to get inside a plane.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 ARs really did there. I think Formal got the first 2, Dashy the next 2 on the cross as they continue to play at a high level in this series. Right back to A will go Surge. They've got the clock stop with 38 seconds to go. Prestinni had the 2 to open this up. He'll keep it rocking. 3 and 4. Prestinni doing the dance on OpTic. That might secure A.
Well, and he's been much better in control. I think that's another part of it is Prestinni has really stepped up slaying-wise in this game mode. As, he starts to get a momentum going. Now he's got 4 in a row. Can he find some streaks? They're going to be done with A, extend that time. The last one up, though, but he finds that Craig. He finds kill number 5.
Yeah, and I think Gunless got 2 before he dropped 2 to kind of alleviate some of the pressure in this transition. Makes it a little bit easier for Prestinni to continue to work on these streaks. Won't be the guy flying around the objective maybe as much. He'll have Krig in hand, just trying to make sure he secures something, but they need to secure the round as well. Some damage in. Scump comes out to maybe help Formal, and he'll get caught. 6 in a row. And that's clean through the window. That's going to be full streaks now for Prestinni. 7 in a row. 9 and 1. Do it to him. Okay, well, he's now dead, but impressive nonetheless from Prestinni. Now, can they get the round win?
That's really, yeah. I mean, you love to have those streaks that you can use later on, but can you win an offense here in round number 1? Classic and Octane able to find some kills. They have the life advantage, but Scump with 3. He's ready for the next one. Almost able to snap on to number 4.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to wonder if, you know, Prestinni having to change his playstyle and pace a little bit there to get the streaks may have hindered them at all in getting B. Now, they still might get it, but it's always that question in respawns, you know, when you're close to streaks, if it's somebody's got to change something up, going to hurt you a little bit.
Well, he's going to use the
one kill? What in the world?
Well, still has 1 kill. I mean, this is a chance to win an offensive round with some of the map position that they've had and what Prestinni's just able to do, but he's looking around trying to get some help, and he just doesn't have it. And now you have no respawns remaining, only 10 seconds, and look at this position by Scump. Just going to deal with the reinforce. Okay, I thought he was, but maybe he stalled enough time. He has. His Envoy finds that kill before that player gets to be an OpTic. Hold on. It was a close one.
Well, I mean, it was Prestinni making plays throughout to get the streaks, but it was this from Scump. Ooh, nice movement. It was that play from Scump that really kind of retook map control, closed out the round, put OpTic up 1-0. And now, I guess if you're really hoping if you're Surge that you get some value out of those streaks you worked hard to get.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you got some progress made at both points, right? For defense for round 5, you have some streaks.
That's true.
I don't know. There was just a couple of moments throughout that round where they were just kind of at a standstill. It was even before, you know, Prestinni was on that streak. They just kind of weren't exactly sure. Maybe it's just they're playing around the kills. They don't want to lose map control. They don't want to get put into a trap, so they're, you know, just kind of slowing down mid-map offensively. I thought there was a couple of chances for them to really work an objective. But now it's OpTic right off the get-go. They get 4 down, already 2 takes today. Look at Scump in the defensive spawn.
Hello. He is set up, posted up all the way down. I'm going to climb into your tower. Make it Scump Tower. Got a nice ring to it. He's probably going to own a tower someday. Gunless, though.
There's a good chance.
We'll sniff it out. Yeah. That'd be kind of awesome.
Have a tower? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they get the first point very, very quickly. We've seen OpTic be incredible here. I mean, they had the 5-minute win over, what was it, Thieves. They've blown people off the map. And they get the round 1 win. You know, it was still good stuff from Surge, but OpTic on offense strikes so fast. There's still nearly 2 minutes remaining for them to work this, and they've got a 3-life advantage due to that opening break. And Octane just can't get it rolling right now. He's 2-11. And I know it can be so hard on offense for everyone, but they're not going to win this if he doesn't pick it up. They can't.
Yeah, but for OpTic, I mean, what, 90 seconds? It's not like a ton of time. There's still a lot of lives remaining defensively. Start to work this B a little bit. Fight for this map control. Stall that clock. You want it to pause. That will allow you to, you know, work the slays around the map just exactly like they're doing. Scump be able to find 2. Just, you know, just keep pressure on it. Force Seattle to have to peek you. And then once they do, that's when you can take map control away from them the way they're doing it. But again, you go down, and now they're going to have to work it as Envoy, just trying to make sure they have presence inside a plane.
Yeah, they've always had somebody, right? Like, they've never lost kind of complete control of this mid-map position.
Now
As I
they
say
have.
that, okay, yeah, I spoke that into happening. That'll be the big all clear for Surge. Now you're really under pressure if you're OpTic. 45 seconds to go. You're battling off of spawn. And this should be where the kills get a little bit freer, a little bit easier for Octane. Maybe gets him in a groove in this map. Like that.
Yeah, just some freebies. And, you know, as you said, offensively it can be tough. And I just think Checkmate is one where, you know, if there's a submachine gun who's really going off and is always in the plane, he's going to have the angles on you. at times it can be very difficult to kind of get to your spots. Unfortunately for Octane, it's just his turn, but now he's starting to turn on up 4 in a row. They have just created a wall. Gunless with a multi-kill as well. They've held on defensively, and now Octane's on a spree.
Yeah, I mean, he started to come alive. He needed to. And those moments might prove crucial. We're Seattle Surge away. How many? What did they get?
3.
1 bit of progress? They're on the second point, Surge?
I think 1.
I believe it was. I think they have a 1-tick advantage, but... You've obviously still got that added utility in the streaks for Seattle Surge. Might get some more. But it depends on this break, right? Like, if they get out and get a nice clean break, it could put Octane in some good spots here to work the streaks. If his players out in front drop and they're pinned again, you know how hard it can be.
Honestly, props to both of these teams defensively. Just making sure they've held on to those round wins. But, you know, you have some extra streaks. Maybe that's when you try to use 1 or 2 to win an offensive round. Still got to get another kill. Teammates finding kills around him. Envoy, it's his turn. He's up next, though. He's ready for the second one. Almost gets away with his life.
Well, I think 1 more bullet. That was the 7th for Octane. He got him so weak. His teammate closed it out, but he's still in the hunt.
Just looking for it, yeah.
Yeah, somebody. Let me finish a kill. Classic. He's on, or he got a triple there. Hey, working quickly now with 2 players onto the objective. There's the streak behind the objective progress. Won't get the kill for the cruise, but that's 3 streaks now available for Surge. Classic, a chance to earn some as well now is that you see the killing spree pop up. He's on 7. That happened quickly. What do you have, 5 streaks now?
5, yeah.
Well,
it's checkmate. Yeah, I was just saying, you would love for this to be raid or something, but it's checkmate. So you're gonna see Classic. He's not gonna find anything. He's just gonna use a cruise off spawn. You have Formal and Scump in some forward positions. Prestinni still having that great game. Whew. They were able to work 1 tick of progress at B while they were on A. That forced OpTic to force on that objective. But you still see that they're worried about Formal. But 2 players, they're just going to get on the objective. They're going to use the artillery around them.
Artillery should miss as they push towards plane, but they got 3 on it.
Another
3 on it.
5.
It's going so fast. Prestinni's going huge. OpTic have to get the kills off the point, and they do. They got real close to closing it out there. You're putting a lot into this. There's still a minute left. Lives relatively even. 3rd streak now called in. Dashy's still alive on the point.
I mean, they're just blowing the map up to blow the map up now.
Yeah, the map's very hurt, yes.
They better win this round. I mean, they're only a tick away, but so much invested that maybe they might need defensively later in this game. They want to solidify an attacking round, but OpTic once again just holding strong. And who is it? It's Scump. 4 position, dealing with players off a spawn, and now that's 3 dead. You only have 30 seconds left. They don't even have a life advantage.
Might come back to bite them, but they still have a shot.
Okay.
Why not? Why not? If you're gonna call 1, call them all. Call them all in. Blow the whole damn map up.
Okay, they're on B.
They're on it. Just going very slowly. 1 player there, trying to get the second in, win a big fight. Can they close it out? They'll get onto it and they'll win it, because thank God. You put a lot into it. Checkmate's in pieces. All the boxes are blown up. Wouldn't that be crazy if it had, like, you know, the environmental stuff getting destroyed by the streaks? So, I mean, that would be horrible. But wow, this place would be just in. It'd be rubble.
Let's say it'd be yeah, no, it would not. But yeah, it'd be cool, but not cool.
They'd be playing outside.
But I mean, at least the streaks, right? You get the offensive round one. I don't know what they have. I don't know if we can go through it and see what they have 1 left.
I think they should have 1.
But really, it's just the sprees that they've had. Prestinni, Classic, Octane throughout that round. Well, they put OpTic into a tough position. They couldn't really defend B from any of the outside areas. So just get on to that point. But now can OpTic send this to a round 5?
Well, at least they don't have to worry about streaks if they can do it.
I might. Octane's on a 4 spree. Or sorry, Gunless on a 4 spree, so you might still have to.
Good. Yeah, good point. That's the strategy here for Surge. Right. Get 40 streaks, win the game. All right, well, 8 point, about halfway to being done. Dashy's got the cross. If they try to retake this, they try to send it towards spawn, but Formal's still there lurking. That'll be the B point, or the A point, sorry. That'll finish. Now they have to worry about Envoy lurking, and Gunless is just holding it the entire time. Don't want to let him get into the spawn like we've seen Scump do it throughout the course of this game. I know Envoy likes to dabble as well. Lives-wise, I mean, you're up a couple if you're OpTic, but nothing staggering.
Well, I mean, this is what they did in their first offensive round. It's just they couldn't really do much. When they found map control, nobody was really on the objective. They couldn't get Seattle Surge out of their setup. Seattle, they were clutching on up, and now, again, like, that extra minute, it's great. But on Checkmate, when you have to deal with so many layers and work the middle of the map, it could be, you only have a couple of pushes, but there's going to be 3 dead. Immediately Dashy onto the point.
Prestinni, the one guy that can play spoiler, and playing spoiler, he is able to get 2. Classic the next 2, the sub stepping up. I know it's an AR in hand, but you know what I mean. 25 and 20 from Prestinni, and there's that cruise missile that you still got. And that, with a minute 20 left, I mean, it could end up being a bailout for him. 2 down.
The other key is they don't even get a tick of progress. Now, it's not done yet. They can jump on, and that's what's going to happen. There's going to be a contested in Gunless. My oh my, he has stood strong. He's been so consistent, but okay, 4 dead. Stack it! But a couple of off spawns, so they're going to be a little late. They're going to be a little late cruising.
Here it comes. It's going fast. They're on the point. Now they got to scatter. Doesn't hit anybody. Now they track back. Can they win the fight to push to a round 5? 2 down again is OpTic trying to get us to the ultimate round 5, but Octane and Prestinni take out 2. Back onto the point go OpTic with 59 seconds left. It's so close. 1 player remaining. There's a team kill that comes on in.
Ooh, it's so
that
close.
should do it. Round 5.
But I think they're going to have to do it again.
Yeah. True. But I think all the streaks are gone.
Makes things a little easier.
Little do we know they have 4 more we missed.
Well, just that play right there, though. I mean, what a good job by Formal to get them out of the trap.
Well, we saw it from the player he beams POV, and I thought in my head at the time, wow, he just got smoked. Now we got to see it from Formal's POV. Yeah, he beamed him.
Okay, so for OpTic, the breaks have been fantastic. They've gotten to A quickly. They've extended that timer every single round. They don't have any more streaks to deal with, but we know how tough it is. Times to win an offensive round on Checkmate, and they got to do it twice.
Surge still working with this win streak in control. From worst in the league to, well, 4 in a row. It's impressive. They still got to close this out to stay alive. Otherwise, it is a 3-0 for OpTic, and Surge are out of the tournament. And they hold on a defense. They have the advantage. And they get it done.
It's a bit of a different break there for OpTic. I think they really wanted to try to switch things up and get some progress done at B. They're going to go right back to it. But Octane and Gunless locking it down with those Krigs because you don't have that great break, right? Look at the time, right? 50 seconds to work with. Not a lot of time. Seattle holding strong. And all the pressure, look at all of that was at Prestinni and Classic. So far forward, and what that does, that makes OpTic focus on them. Makes Gunless and Octane's job very easy.
And that lives advantage is getting bigger and bigger. Dashy is just greeted by the wallbang bullets from Classic. I mean, this is the moment. OpTic needs some crazy 3-4 down wild play here if they're going to have a shot to get onto it. There's the first. Scump finds Prestinni. Octane from the plane, trying to get damage in. Formal finds another 7 seconds to go. Classic goes big. He gets 3 in this final sequence, on 5 in a row, but onto the point goes Formal in behind enemy lines. He pauses the clock at 2.3. Classic finds another one. Surge will take it. What a stretch it has been for them in control, and they're still alive in this series. And now we go to an APOC that OpTic have not played in all of stage 4.
Well, that's a key. They get to their hard point, right? You get to your respawn, where your respawn has been great. And I mean, throughout this map, it really just comes down to the streaks that Seattle Surge were able to go on. It was Octane at one moment, but really Prestinni and Classic pushed them forward. They had so many streaks used to win that offensive round. And in that round 5, when the pressure is on, they hold strong. They don't give up any progress at all. And, well, we head to that map 4.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was a great map from Prestinni and Classic. And, you know, they weren't, it's not they were non-existent in the map 1, but they didn't really make a big impact. There they did. And it's a different Surge team when they can do that. I mean, think about, I know Octane picked it up, but he started 1 in 10 or whatever it was. They were still in the hunt due to his teammates stepping up, and that was a huge key for you. But let's look through the stats, Joe.
I mean, ARs for OpTic, they slayed, but I think it was Envoy and Scump that struggled at times, and maybe they just couldn't get things going in the plane. But you got to think, what, they have 3 offensive rounds with a 74U with a sub. It could just be difficult to get out of that trap. But props to Seattle winning that round, that offensive round with all of those streaks. There was a lot invested. They clutched on up.
Fist bumps are out. Seattle get the victory, pushes it to a map 4. We get to their hard point on APAC. Coming up after the break.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
We are back. Let's look at a refresher. The maps and modes, the best of 5 in front of us. 2-1 lead for OpTic. But now it is Seattle's pick. Apocalypse Hardpoint. Joe, you said OpTic haven't played it through stage 4. You felt good about this pick. You saw it in the rotation. Did Seattle get us to a map 5? We'll take a look at the map 1 result. There's a win for OpTic and their stats in it. 2 minutes and 18 seconds in the hill for Envoy.
I mean, it was just a team effort. Dashy had some mid-plays. Scump started off hot. But, you know, just looking at those maps and modes, the vetoes, I think just looking back at it, 2 things. For me, Seattle Surge, was it smart to leave checkmate open? At least you got to your hard point. On the other side for OpTic, we've talked about having 2 controls. Their raid's been great. But because they haven't played a lot of Garrison control, can't really get things going on checkmate now. Maybe they'll just have to try to figure something out after this match if they have to play another one later tonight. But for Seattle Surge, you've gotten here. You've gotten a map 4, your respawn pick. See if they can set us to a map 5.
I'm excited for this one. We've, hey, you and I were chatting earlier. Like, this weekend's been kind of odd in the sense it's like it's been all 3-0s or 5-game series. Like, there's been 1-3-1. I think that was the Seattle over London game. Everything else has been like a crazy game 5 or someone getting smoked. So I feel like we're going to a game 5, Joe.
Oh boy.
I feel it's in the cards. We deserve some craziness, something wild.
But it is OpTic at a major, so sooner or later that'll happen.
True. Seattle. They fight for the important CDL points they desperately need if they're going to get top 8 and get to champs. OpTic, this is their rebound match after getting smoked to start the event. Looking to go big. So since this is Surge's pick, it's the weak side spawn for them. It might not be weak very long if Prestinni won another gunfight, but they're able to deal with it. It's Envoy getting 2 kills as Scump starts to move up the map.
I mean, that's Envoy. He was on the hill initially. He rotates off of that. Dashy, I think, says he needs some help on the rotation or formal, right? So he luckily gets both of those kills, but that was very close from Seattle flipping right away. I'm
I thought
right
they were
back to the
before
hill.
I said it.
See formal playing safe. Well, Octane Gunless, they're just going to push on up. Look at this, Dashy. He spawns out just due to that forward position towards back ruins. Can OpTic hold on for P2?
Well, Prestinni picks it up. They knew their position. He reads the spawn out, but just gets gunned as he tries to stop it. So the 2 OpTic players who spawned out are able to rally back towards second. So what? You get 21 points for Surge, 13 in the first hard point for OpTic, but pretty split. This is the big moment here at second. 3 players here for Surge, ready to go. The entire OpTic lineup ready to deal with it. Formal with the nade, with the shots. He gets the second before he drops. Last player, I believe, is who spawned out. That's classic. He finally gets to the mix, but the rest of his team is dead.
Yeah, great teamwork out of Scump and Formal, but right off a spawn, Octane, he snaps to the third, but Envoy ready for it. But this is going to allow them some map positioning to get worked up. But OpTic, they've held on from the hill this entire time, and they do it again. Well, they had that good side, able to get the lead, and now for Seattle, you've dealt with it, right? It's not horrible. Could have been better, of course. Now it's your turn to respond.
You just know how the multi-kills can turn the tide. I felt like there were just 3 moments where, Dashy, Envoy with the 2 early, Formal with the 2 on the point, Dashy then follows it up. Like, some big clutch multi-kills to earn that time. Yeah, you nailed it. This is where Surge can now start to make their run. It's kind of like checkmate when we talked about at the beginning. You survive the blow at the beginning, you start to reel back in.
The bad thing for Surge is they actually spawn out. OpTic, they move on forward. They're able to get to the left side of the mini-map, which is exactly where they want to be for the next 3 hills. So they take that. They force a couple of members of Seattle to spawn out at old before this 3rd hill pops. A nice teamwork out of OpTic to get them in positioning, and then the fights around the hill were going their way. The classic Prestinni hot off of a map number 3, able to break on through.
I thought it was going to be another one of those multi-kill moments, but simply too many players for Scump to deal with. The 3rd will take him down. But yeah, I mean, that changes the conversation a lot. I'm talking about how you rally back here, but when you don't have the spawns where the rally usually starts, makes it a little bit difficult. But
that's all right.
Yeah,
they did it.
Yep, they did it. They did it. They get that 4 down. They now push through the backside of it. And they're within 40 points.
In 40 points, you still have Scump who's alive. Envoy, he's just going to get on the point, soak up some time, but he's all by himself. Dashy's middle of the map, trying to work a pinch, but Prestinni, I thought he was ready for it. I mean, he was. It's some nice shots. You have Dashy running a 374 view right now. You still have 2 Krigs on the opposite side, so they're going to be quick. Might be a little bit easier for them to break, but when Seattle gets set up... Okay, so Gunless actually pulls out a 3rd, so he's matching that. There's only 1 Krig on both sides.
Seattle, down in the series, down in the map, tournament lives at stake. Let's go to an Astro listening with Seattle Surge.
Oh, what's the EQ? Oh, he's mid.
TV's middle. He's split down low right now.
Set this purple. One's low on me.
They left me. Hold. Let them come to you guys.
Just hold. Oh, he's top of me.
Let them come to you.
Absolute top. Dashy.
Drop low.
Drop low.
Close left in time.
He's not weak. I spawn out.
Dashy's in new. Dashy's in new. Dashy dead new.
I should be blocking.
Last
kid hitting ult.
I got
Hold the back. Hold in the back.
I'm holding the back right now. I'm holding the back.
Open your Lpers.
You have my L. I have my Usos.
There, him. Nice.
Stand left front. Could be on me more front. Could be more front of me, guys.
I should think back Usos.
I spawned out.
I'm alone looking front. I'm alone looking front.
You guys blocking the back.
Yeah, we are. All dead.
Nice.
On time. Hold that back to the back. Matt dead. I'm on the fire.
Nice. 3. I'm behind him. I'll kill him.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm making
Dead. One shot. Free kill.
I'm on a 6. I hear you. I'm holding mid cross. I have mid cross right now.
Alright, I'm gonna set up for now.
P1 formal.
Pretty sure I should get it off this time.
Okay, Pierce, watch your spawn kills here. We gotta watch your spawn kills here, Pierce.
Look at Ellie.
One shot on P1.
I'm holding Ellie.
He spawns out.
Matt is on new.
One shot. Free kill P1.
Push Loku.
Free kill.
Get behind top TV.
I don't see the guy. No. Ult's not pinging me right now. I don't see anything.
Yo, P1 and Q.
I got time.
P1 clip.
I don't see top TV.
We heard some passion there, Joe. I love some of the calls from Gunless. The back and forth with him and Octane, it was beautiful. Gunless on 6 in a row, looking for some streaks that define the last map, and there is the first.
Yeah, able to find the artillery. He thought maybe he was going to get it from that time. They were trying to, flip them, but all right, Surge, they were able to break those spawns. But now OpTic, they're in a position to do exactly what they did off the break. You have 1 and 2. They find those kills. Can they deal with the artillery? When does Gunless want to call that in? We'll see. But right now, Seattle, they're getting shut down middle of the map.
Yeah, this has been clean from OpTic. It was a lead change for a moment for Surge, but now OpTic fighting back through. Nice shots from Envoy. We'll take down the second towards the point as well as he continues to be a menace around the objective. Give him another. Back to even. 3 streak and just important plays around the objective. He's going to flank this as well. I thought for a second maybe some freebies, but they'll pick it up. He will drop. Surge looking to fly, and it's streak time. Cruise missile going to be called in.
Teammates died right as he called it. It's 2 deaths right when they call that in, so they're not going to have a lot of map positioning. You're going to see Gunless is going to come out of that. He's going to be alone. All of his teammates are towards the 3rd hill, but here we go. Gunless doing it by himself. It does not matter. Now he's got Classic and Prestinni with him. They're able to break on through with that streak.
Oh, Dead don't care. I don't need teammates. Gunless makes the play. 1 with the streak, 2 with the gunny Surge into the point, down 10. And the man can do no wrong at 21 and 11. Unbelievable stuff. Is Prestinni getting into the mix as well. OpTic spawning out. They'll get the rest of the time. Is another lead change looming. Surge look to go back out in front.
Well, this is, while we were excited to see Gunless back on a team because, he could be the best player in the world. We've seen him be that title in multiple Call of Duties. He's just, Seattle, they just haven't quite figured it out. But with the momentum they've got at this event, you're seeing some of the best of Gunless as well.
They go 2 for 2 until Octane gets the final one. Numbers here for a moment for Surge. Formal. I thought for a second he was waiting on his teammates, but as he pushes in, it'll stagger. One spawns on the opposite side, so maybe a pinch to come in. Streaks for Gunless, you saw, used. Octane, 2 away from finding some himself.
Oh, Envoy!
Envoy with a big double to help secure these final 30 seconds. Go back out in front. The multi-kills for OpTic continue to be so clutch. Octane does end up dying, so no streaks there. We're just hopping all over the place.
This is when they lost spawns last time.
Fast and frantic, Joe.
This is exactly where they lost spawns last time, the back half of this hill, and they do it again. Seattle, they're just so quick. They push on through. It's not when it needs to happen for OpTic. They have to be a little bit more disciplined towards the back half of that hill. And now you have to deal with the artillery as well, which is, this hill's right in the wide open. He's given the comms. He knows that Formal's on the flank. You see, Octane's going to be ready for that. That's all 4 dead. That's map control for Seattle Surge.
They win their fights. They're set up in the point. They can't win it here, but they can get darn close as all of OpTic fly off a spawn. But, yeah, it's those deaths with what? I don't know, around 10 seconds or so left in a hard point. And when they happen to multiple players on the team, it puts you in such a tough spot. Excellent stuff from Surge. But Formal hitting crisp headshots, well, on his duo as well. As he takes down 3, but in the objective. It is still Surge, but rallying and trying to get the backside set up is Formal. And this is where we saw Gunless during the listening, really calling out, I got the backside, I've got Useless, I've got the spawns. Formal does end up falling, but the back up is Dashy.
Again,
and that's one of those
time
deaths
to
with
die.
like 10 seconds. Exactly, one of those deaths with like 10 seconds left. You cannot drop when you're holding the back and opening for Surge.
Yeah, but right off a spawn, he's gonna flank one, and well, he's gonna flank the second, so it develops a pinch. And now a chance for OpTic to tie this game up. Still 50 seconds left. You have some forward, positioning here if you're Dashy and Envoy. I guess the question for me is, when does maybe someone try to take a long route towards P2? Will it be Formal? But Seattle, they're going to put one more push towards the back. Here they come. Flying through L, flying through Chicken Coop. But Formal, he has been lighting it up since the start of this hill.
Yeah, he had a bad death, and then he falls
They
it up like 4 in a row.
Spawns flip. This is great for OpTic if they can hold on. Envoy able to do it. It's 16 seconds. But, I mean, they have the spawns for the next two.
Yeah,
it's doable.
Yeah, gamble. Dashy is able to take out 2. You've got 2 players by the point as well. Playing deep will be Formal. For the perfect hold, they can win it. 40 points needed for OpTic, 8 needed for Surge. Octane looking for an opener. Him and Prestinni able to take down 2. They start to fly towards the point, but who's been the hero on the objective? It's been Envoy. He's going to get caught as well. Octane lighting up the map. Him and Prestinni, the last 4 kills for Surge. They get in, they close it out, they win their hard point. Into a map 5 we go.
Ooh, it gets close. OpTic do a really good job, at that P5 Formal with some individual plays. But it's through the first rotation, that P3 hill multiple times, and then Gunless is able to earn that streak. I mean, you have a setup. I mean, I know you don't have spawns if you're OpTic, but you had a really good setup. All 4 players were in a solid position to earn some time. Instead, you deal with the artillery, and then off of that, Surge able to deal with OpTic, and they, send us to a map 5, and you can see 4-1 in their last 5 games. But now for OpTic, all right. You won their Search and Destroy pick, now you get to yours.
100%. At the tail end of that, I didn't know what was going to happen, because how many times did we see that similar spot where, they'd get a kill or 2 on that point, first point, and Envoy, would find a clutch multi-kill, whether it was wrapping back for spawns or around the objective. We saw it 3 times where Envoy would go big. But once he dropped on the point, I was like, that's it. That's it. He's bailed him out a couple times. No chance to do it there. We're tied up at 2-2. Joe, let's look at the statistics.
It was a close game, and stats-wise, nothing really too crazy. Gunless and Octane, Gunless is +10, almost 5,000 damage. He's the one that earned the streaks. Him and Octane both positive on the other side. Dashy puts up 25 kills. Everyone right around even, but it's just a couple of set of kills that are the difference makers there.
That was a fun one. Unbelievable map as these 2 teams fight. It feels like whenever they play, there's something epic brewing. As Nubsy talks it through with the squad, they get ready for a map 5. This is a losers bracket match. The team that loses is gone from the tournament. Surge get the win. Map 5 around the corner.
Almighty keeps it going normal. Looking fantastic. Envoy slaying his way through. Scump from up high, the king.
I'm out here doing what they thinking is irrational.
Really starting to run that score up.
I'm gonna make it back, I'm gonna make it back, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, OpTic Gaming are back. Chicago are a force to be reckoned with. That is just some classic Call of Duty right there. Laying his heart out. Oh, Gunless wins it! This is a team very worth being excited for.
Remember everyone that doubted you. I'm sure to you. Like it's the first day of school.
Looking dangerous. He manages to get 3 before being taken down there. Unbelievable stuff. Seattle Surge, they gun them all down. They stand triumphant.
Surge looking for their first reverse sweep of the season. Is OpTic trying not to get double popped out of the tournament? Joe, talk to me about their Game 5 success or failure so far this season.
A lot of failures on both sides. I mean, 3 and 10 combined overall. And obviously 2 of those losses for OpTic was you have the Game 5 loss to Ultra, you have the Game 5 loss to Røkkr at the major. So a couple there that, you know, definitely going to put the pressure on them. You can see for Surge really struggling offensively. Both teams around 50% defensively, but we're going to Moscow. A lot of reps here for OpTic. It's one of their better search and destroy maps. Well, they did beat Seattle Surge here the last time they played 6-3, but that also gives Surge, you know, some info, some things to work off of. There's a lot of gameplay-wise that they can try to counter OpTic in what they do.
I mean, we had a lot of fun casting the searches yesterday between Empire and Ultra. Just the mind games and evolution of the pushes over the course of it. It was a whole lot of fun. When Search first started this year, and I didn't know how I felt about the maps, and we didn't have snipes and smokes. It has grown on me so much as the teams have gotten better in the way it plays. I just find it a blast to watch the teams work off of each other throughout the course of a map. We're in for a show here in the map 5. We head to Moscow. Loser of this map, going to their hotel, doing Lord knows what.
Well, I think I have to just go home. I don't think they need to go to the hotel.
That's a good point, Joe.
I think most of Seattle live in Dallas too, so I think some of them are just gonna go home.
All right. Okay. Fine. Everyone's in Dallas. I get it. Map 5 time. Let's see what OpTic look to do first offensively, and this is the map we had so much fun with last night in that matchup. What was it? Was like that kind of mid to Eskies hit like 4 rounds in a row.
Well, you have a map like Express. It's just a lot of it's counter hits, quick rotations, retakes. This time it's a little bit of mind games. There's a little bit of it. So they show at A, but it's going to be a B hit. But you have Gunless all the way back platform. He's ready for this. You have 1 player inside a B. In Seattle, they've read this well. You're going to have all 4 players here.
Going back.
But OpTic, are we wrapping back? We're wrapping back. We're going right back to A.
This is what we saw so much yesterday.
It's just info, right? Someone's watching the cross into that defensive spawn. If you don't have mid control, an Eski's rotation is just so fast.
On plant going in. Octane starting to push up. Envoy is here, though. He gets 1. Octane at least gets out with his life, and they will catch him. So that's one where maybe you get your kill and back up if you're Envoy. But he wanted more. Won't happen. 3v3. Scump tucked away. Scump goes big. Takes down 2. Gunless will fall. And OpTic take the round.
And like a flashback there of Envoy, maybe over challenging
How reminiscent
a
of that
bit.
was the lineup round. Yeah, when he just gets a little overzealous.
A little overzealous, but Scump bails him out and had a little, safe play there. I think it was Formal who was going all the way through. Formal and Dashy going all the way through on a flank. Just depending how those trades would have played out, maybe he wins that round. But OpTic just back and forth, show A, go back to B, force Seattle off of A. You get that bomb plant down.
And it's tough to retake. You saw both players, Envoy and Scump, tucked away in corners. You're kind of guessing which side you're going to get hit from first, and they both find kills. Scump just happens to get 2, and that seals it. What are you seeing from Surge so far?
Just slow, right? But with Dashy, he's able to spot 1. That forces Envoy to back up. That was OpTic 3 off the rip towards A. Envoy just going to get away with his life. You have a lot of mid-pressure here from Gunless and Prestinni. But it's the same thing. They know there's not a plant yet. You have two players being very patient in case that rat back goes right back up to A. And it's looking like it will. So this falls on the Scump and Formal. Scump in a bit of an off angle. We don't really see this that often. They've read this.
The difference is they hold. Scump wins the first, gets away.
Oh, Formal died,
Formal will drop, though, and that's going to mean Scump will fall as well. Onto the plant they go with 25 seconds remaining. Envoy has gotten in. On the other side of the map, it is Dashy. He is nowhere close. Bomb plant through. Dashy here for the 1 versus 2. Røkkr, Prestinni, and Gunless tie us up. So many places to check as he moves up. Time dwindling.
He's got an idea now. He sees a nade. He's going to spot Gunless. He saw the nade. He saw the nade. Oh.
Ooh. Maybe. He had a shot. But Prestinni threw on the trade and tied up 1-1. So, yeah, I mean, once Scump got the first and got down, I'm thinking they got a shot. But I think at the same moment, basically, Formal. I didn't see. I'm so focused on Scump, I didn't see if he has lost a one-on-one or how it went down. But once Formal dropped, it unraveled.
Yeah, and that's sort of the risk of keeping two there because they're going to be in a 3-on-2 or a 4-on-2, and you're just hoping they each find one. So the two players rotating get into a 2v2 retake. So now we'll just see how differently they play this. Are they always going to stick around? Do they just wrap back to B? Play the 4-on-4 retake. We saw a lot of that yesterday. But back on offense, you have 3 players from Seattle here. A bit of a hard counter. They're going quick right behind that statue. And Classic gets spotted here.
He saw him. I don't know if he saw Classic. I would assume so, but...
Well, and Envoy and Scump, they just went right bottom Eskies over to B. B's wide open, but the bomb is across the map. It's going to take him a while to get there.
Oh, yeah, I mean, by the time he gets there, well, you've already got 3 people rotated. They wrap it back. Yeah, the first 2 rounds are really good. A really good look at, kind of staying, holding, and what the 4v4 retake looks like.
Nobody watching Street, though. Nobody watching. Prestinni might be able to find a couple of kills here.
There's the first. Good call, Joe. First blood is in. Envoy brings it back. Envoy is getting tagged. He gets the trophy out and says hello to one. Prestinni runs right by him, but able to track back for the kill as Envoy was weak. Numbers to surge. 25 to go.
Dashy able to find one, and then Scump goes on a pinch. Scump goes on a pinch. Dashy's just trying to buy time. Trying to buy as much time as he can. Finessing around the bus. A great job. Not even to get the gunfight, but he's put Scump in a winning scenario. He just has to get one, get away with his life. It's down to this. Scump gonna get the kill. Backs down. Beautiful out of Dashy to waste Seattle's time as they get that round win.
Ooh, does it get tense down the stretch? Oh. I don't think I was breathing for a moment there. Good stuff, Joe. Wow. We'll see it from Dashy again. And okay, so the first one was a snapper, too. And then the finesse game, the buy time. And it was just enough time. It's worded it perfectly. Put Scump in a position to win the round, and he does just that. Scump now 4-2 to start this search and destroy.
It's been a key for them. He's just been so good in this game mode, keeping it going so far. But a lot of S&D left. A little bit different here. From OpTic is Seattle. They're just going to go right to A. They're just going to take it.
Utility starting to soar on in. The wall bangs are just drilling Formal, but he's still up. On the other side, not the most fun fight against Octane when you have a sub in hand. The pinch will come through. 2 will fall. Surge with sight control. Scump, last man alive. He'll get put down. Is the 4-man hit? Looking more like a Luminosity squad back in the day. They send it to the site. They win the fights. They take over.
Well, it's just, again, the 2 players who start off at A, this time it was Formal and Envoy, just not able to find kills. I mean, Formal's hoping to get into an angle with the Krieg and find a kill. Doesn't happen. Envoy, he has to fight Octane. He's dealing with 2. The nades are coming in. There's just so much chaos around that. Well, they don't get any kills off of it. They're hoping to find one. He gets close. He puts some good shots into him. But neither of them able to find a kill. That means Seattle will run him on over.
Getting it done on offense. They do a little jump peek. They soar. They were aggressive the last time around. Prestinni just gets out. Classic is here, though, too, and that's going to be bomb down, Formal down. Envoy, though, still in position. Can he get both? He's getting ripped by Gunless as well. They're
what is this round?
Envoy.
What is this?
He gets out. He gets out as they chase him down. And lurking in the back is Dashy. I thought he had a freebie, but Octane takes him down. What is going on?
It was just like Jetpack God. They just 4-hit out a
yeah,
sight.
I said it's like old luminosity. Just hit it.
Yeah, I mean, bomb is being planted, though. They got to work all the way across the map. It's going to be about 10 seconds before they can even make a play. Look at Scump's position. I thought maybe Octane was going to wrap back to him, but it doesn't look like it. You are very split if you're OpTic. They don't have any information. Where is that push coming from? Envoy on one side, Scump in the other.
Well, if you
don't go
players,
through that window, but he gets all of that info.
Wanted 2 players. It might be these 2 in this moment. And they clutch up in the 2 versus 3. 15 to go. Envoy, the information game still on point. They get them all in a second. The clutch through for OpTic. They go in front again.
Oh, this is where it's a little bit different than Jetpack Call of Duty is, because this is what happens when you have to work 15 seconds across the map, and
yeah,
you don't have a jetpack to get you across the map in 5 seconds. So not able to find all the information, but nicely done on Envoy and Scump. They took their time. Envoy in that Windows position. He's just sort of getting all the info. They get across, get that bomb down, able to win it.
100%. They knew they're all there. Like, they just flew. They sub in hand. Let's get across the map. Let's get a plant down. They do it. 1 for 1 on the mid-map fight. Formal gets a little bit more information. Some bullets start to greet him from street side. Prestinni, oh Lord, he gets in behind 2. So much damage done, but then the drop shot in the cricket range. Formal wins it. Classic, though, zooming right into the site. He's got bomb.
That's just a Nicky D play right there, but now Envoy, 1v2, able to spot one, knows Octane's here, they line up. He gets the 1 kill, just trying to run away. Here comes the reach out. Here comes the reach out, and Envoy, he was ready, but Nicky D able to gun him. I mean, he just follows Prestinni right down the middle of the map. Gets that trade. Sometimes you just gotta hit it. This is all offense so far.
Yeah, it is. Is Envoy full health, right? Like, what?
Pretty darn close.
He just got hit by a nuke. Just evaporated. What a win. I mean, he's just pre-aiming that in classic, just does classic things, soaring at it. 3-3.
As
he said, the old Nicky D special in that round.
Oh, it just doesn't care.
Oh, okay, now he's struggling to mantle. Okay, he's there.
We slow down here for a moment.
Everyone
take a deep breath.
Rehydrate.
In through the nose, out through your mouth.
I can't breathe like that. It's weird. No. aBeZy, they go. 2 players here. It's not going to be a 4-on-4 retake like we saw in an earlier round. They've got 2 bodies. OpTic have numbers. The 3rd player rallying over now for Surge. The first, it's going to be Nicky D. Going big again. Prestinni as well. Classic. With the crunch goes in, but Envoy, the equalizer, puts it into a 1 versus 1. Dear Lord Almighty, these rounds.
Yeah, that's another Nicky D special. I mean, that's maybe one you don't want to do, but he tries to go quickly for the trade. You don't have to. You have the man advantage. He's got to plant the bomb. Everything is in your advantage, but now you put Gunless into a tough situation. But Envoy, he has no idea where this player is. No clue. And Gunless, well, that timing not going to work out. He's going to get the B plant. You're going to be at A. And, yep, buddy, you're going to check that and think, crap, I picked the wrong one.
All tied up. Game 5. 1 versus 1. Gunless versus Envoy. Under 30 seconds to go. As Gunless starts to make his move. Oh, Envoy as well. Envoy starts to make a play. Not a good timing. Gets some shots in, but can't finish it. It's an insta-hop from Gunless. Right onto it, but Envoy is there. OpTic take the round. Envoy, what a round it was. It starts with Classic. It ends with Envoy.
Also ends with classic. Yeah. You know, it's just this next challenge. There's just no need for it whatsoever. And they just put it out there. I know the pressure's high, but it's dumb. Dumb play. Have the man advantage.
I love it when you get frustrated.
The smallest things, again, it's just we don't always have to trade. But Dashy's been lurking street side. He shoots a lot. Be able to get away, he is. It's that information.
You better keep running. Because they are coming. Right into B. They go. The rotation over here from Envoy, the hero of the last round. Bomb will be planted, and we'll wait for Formal and Scump to get involved in the action. We'll see what route they decide to go. That was a cluster grenade. It looked like somebody just went off at the doorway. Envoy again, making the plays. The first blood is in. Numbers to OpTic. One more time for me. Envoy with another 5 in a row. He's got the read this side as well as Gunless wins it. Thought he was about to meet his maker, but finally Envoy off the map. But the numbers too much is OpTic. Finally, somebody goes back to back. They're up 5-3 and 1 round away from eliminating Seattle Surge.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Envoy's just in his bag right now, right? I mean, this guy reading the map well, perfect positions. That was very well read by Seattle because those 3 nades, Envoy's not ready for that. He's dead. If he misses that jump, the nades go in. He's out of there. That's a first blood. They have man advantage. Good luck retaking that. But instead, he backs away. Prestinni gets caught sliding out. He's ready for the next gunfight. And just for Dashy, I know he doesn't have the craziest impact, but that was a position where he struggled at times, right? Getting caught, not playing his life, just backing away and playing with his team. Huge for OpTic.
Envoy taking over in the search and destroys. They've been good on offense. They've been perfect on offense here. They can end the game with this offense.
Same setup.
Whoa, okay. Prestinni nearly obliterated Formal. He got hit to 15 health. And they're going to wrap this out. Set up deep is Gunless. Here comes the rotation from Surge. And do we get another wrap back? Looks like they're going to commit this time.
Have Octane right outside the window. Trophies are down. That's going to be a first blood. He was ready for it. Classic now thinking about checking the bomb. But Octane, he got naded. Did he go in? He must have jumped into that room. But we're into a 3-on-3.
Another trade. 2v2. 30 seconds on the clock. Gunless has got both in front of him. He doesn't get caught. He does. Dashy with the kill. All down to Prestinni. Is their tournament hopes and dreams die? Dashy with the final 2. The Cinderella story for Seattle is gone. OpTic rebound after the Empire match. And they stay alive.
Nice teamwork here again. You know, Dashy alive in these situations. You know, Envoy obviously clutching that 1 versus 3. That was the momentum shift. But I gotta give my man props because there's a lot of scenarios where I think he's been a little over aggressive taking those chows. He's just getting information for his team, valuing his life. They're making smart decisions. You see the frustrations on the Seattle Surge side. Well, their tournament lives still up.
You see Hector there with him all pumped up as the boys get the win, but ooh, yeah, I mean, you said it, like Envoy, you were a little worried. Maybe not the smartest play early in the game, but his reads, his awareness, and well, the gunny as well. So strong the rest of that game. What a performance in a map 5 for 2 teams that haven't been great in map 5s. You lose the last 2 maps, you're worried you might get reverse swept. You're thinking, imagine the tweets we're going to get. Up 2-0, losing this with the Lost Empire. But they get it done. They close it out. They win the map 5. OpTic Chicago move on.
Well, they're going to play Minnesota Røkkr later on today. And, you know, Røkkr is the team. They're getting better and better. They're strong in a lot of those modes. But I think for both of them, a big focus is on that control. It's where they've been struggling. But here's a look at our stats for the map 5. Envoy, double digits. 12 kills, but he has 25 across the board in the search and destroys. 2,300 damage. On the other side, it's a good team effort. out of Seattle Surge, but I just keep going back to that round. Because what that would have put Surge up 1, then they win the next one. They could have been up 2 rounds, but instead, Envoy puts them in a winning situation.
Well, Joe, you're talking about it, so let's look at it. This will be the scuff play of the game. Envoy, Gunless, 1 versus 1. We're going to see it one more time in a moment that defined this map 5. An epic moment is, I think everybody held a breath for a few moments there.
It's a great setup here. You're in a 1v3, but it's this challenge. He's not weak at all. You just jump right into him. Instead of playing your 2 versus 1 with your teammate, he still has 30 seconds. He's got to plant. There's an overcommitment, an over challenge, and now Gunless left into a tough spot. There's a lot of different scenarios that can play out. He's just playing around the information given. Thinks maybe Envoy will push through offensive spawn. Just got to take a guess. And, well, he ends up going to the A-bomb. Then over towards B at the plant scenario. There's so many angles that you have to check at that bomb site. So many things that can go wrong. He's able to, dodge a couple of bullets on the first look and just thinks, well, I'm going to hop this bomb. Is he actually going to think I'm going to do it? Hopefully not, but he does.
And just think about, I mean, there's 15 seconds on the clock when he's top Eskies. Just the call to go to the site. I mean, Joe, we didn't even really get into it, but there was about a second and a half left at the end of that plant. It was close. It was real close as he tracked to the other site. But he gets the read, the nice tags in. And then, yeah, he hops it. Envoy pushes it, wins the round, clutches the 1v3. OpTic rejoice as they move on at Major 4. But, wow, that was a fun one. It had a lot of insane moments.
No, it did.
Let's check
and again, for this team, you play in Minnesota Røkkr. Then, I mean, if they're able to win that one, or, well, either Røkkr or OpTic, right? You're going up either against an Empire team or an NYSL who's, got to fill in. And then up top, we still have FaZe and Ultra, fighting for a spot in that tournament final later on.
Yeah, I think the question kind of right now is, can anyone in the bottom side beat those 2 teams? FaZe has clearly looked the #1. Ultra has still looked very strong. It's tough to imagine anyone right now on the bottom side can beat them. Now, can it happen? Absolutely, but they seem to be ahead.
Well, Empire
It's major time. It's major time, and miracles can happen. Yeah, they sure should have. That map 1 was absolute insanity, but we've got those teams
FaZe,
remaining.
I don't know if anyone can beat them right now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, I tweeted it last night, but after we casted that epic Empire versus Ultra match, I literally felt like I could climb a mountain. I was so fired up. It was so fun. And then we get to the FaZe match, and it just sucked the wind out of me because they're dominant right now. They are. But that's part of the fun in this, I guess, is can anyone take them down? You have that in major sports when somebody's on top. You're kind of a part of the fan base just rooting to see them lose. We'll see if it happens. A reminder on how our schedule is going to play out today is we have 5 on the board. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be a fun one.
No, it is. Up next, Dallas versus New York. Clay versus Old Squad. NYSL able to survive, and they do it with a fill-in with Decimate, who played great in Game 5, but they won 2-3-5, man. Typically with fill-ins, that's very difficult to do. Usually if you find some success with a fill-in, it's through the hard point. NYSL's hard point's been great, but seems such a critical part to that team, and you can feel it. But we'll see. Their tournament's still live, and as Empire, they're trying to bounce back from that Game 5 defeat.
Yeah, and part of me is pretty upset because we don't have NYSL at full strength, and I want to see teams playing at their best. But given the circumstances, this might prove to be a more fun matchup. It just might be, because I don't think anyone
100%.
would argue NYSL at full strength is the better team. But right now, who knows how it's going to play out? I've got no idea.
Me neither. I mean, Empire, what they've shown, I think you're right. They could take anyone with how they've looked, especially versus Toronto Ultra. Shotzzy playing at a really high level. Their Search Destroy seems to be great. It's just those small moments that they still have to fix, like that Game 1. Vivid still getting comfortable. They're still a new roster, but they're looking better than they have in quite some time.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us. We were waiting for Formal to get ready for the interview. I believe I heard he just got down there. I'm gonna toss it as soon as we're ready, just waiting on it. But he was taking his time, packing up controller, getting ready to go. He is actually ready now. So we've got Formal, a beast in that series. He is on the stage with Jess to chat. How they doing?
Thanks so much, Maven. Yeah, we got Formal here for your Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. I mean, way to regain after kind of a slower start to this event. How were you able to bounce back from that?
I mean, we just knew that wasn't us in the first series versus Empire. I think we got a little ahead of ourselves, and we just needed to, like yesterday, we had a day off. I think that's what we needed, just to like regain and like gather ourselves and prepare for the rest of the tournament. And today, I think we came out a different team.
I'm sure you're aware of some of the reactions and maybe some of the criticisms from fans saying that you guys are inconsistent. How would you respond to those criticisms?
I mean, they're not wrong. We've been incredibly inconsistent the whole season. It's something that we're working on every day. It's just it's a hard problem to like take down like in one night. So we're just gonna keep pushing forward.
Yeah, well, definitely one match at a time. Next up, you are going to be facing Minnesota Røkkr. Things went well for you guys last time you faced off against them. I mean, any reason that we should expect something different this time?
I think it'll be a good series either way. We just got to play our game and we'll win. I think that's what we need to do.
Love to hear. All right, well, thank you so much, Maven. Back over to you.
OpTic get the win. They will continue on at Major 4. Do not go anywhere. We've got plenty of matches to come. After the break, we'll get to Lottie, Studdy, and Nameless to break down the action.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
Well, day 3 is delivering the goods, and goods it's delivered to OpTic fans. My gosh, what a game we had, second time round. Oh, OpTic 3-2, amazing stuff against Surge there. This is the bracket. As you can see, Elimination round 3 is where we're at, folks, and Elimination round 4 is where OpTic's going to be against Røkkr very shortly. Incredible stuff from the green wall, and it's so good to see them bounce back like we knew that they could. Enjoying myself watching that one, and especially watching that in my Zennies because they are blue light blocking. I love to see it, and see it I can, because these bad boys do just that. Well, I'll tell you what, I've got to say, Envoy was 1-6 last time he played Search. This time, 12-7. Beautiful stuff, and I've got to say,
pretty good.
The 1v3 is exactly what I wanted to see from